So in this video, my friends, I'm going to be showing you guys all the secret areas in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. If you enjoy this kind of content, leave a like, subscribe for more. Let's go ahead and jump straight into this. We're going to be starting with Foundry. A lot of these different levels have sort of secret areas. Some of them are more secret than others. For Foundry, you're going to have to complete a specific goal, which is to grind all of these little valves. So there's one there. There's going to be one right there. So that's 2. There's one right there. That's 3. If we kind of head around here, you can see there's going to be one there. There's going to be 4. Just grind that. I've already done it, so I'm not doing it again. And then the last one's here, 5. And when you do that, you unlock this secret area right here, which has a little bowl at the bottom and sort of this thing you can grind up all the way to the top. And in your actual career mode, this is where you're going to find the Iron Galaxy logo at the very, very top. So this is the first area that I guess is sort of like secret, and then you could acid bomb into here, and it's a good time. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're going to go over to Canada. Level select, go to Canada, and let's see the secret area here. Okay, so going from the starting area, you're going to go over here. And again, it's secret-ish. You know, some of the areas are more secret than others, like I said. But it's an area that you kind of unlock doing something. So you're going to grind this little lever right here, which is going to raise that quarter pipe up here. You're going to kind of air up here. And now you can get up here, which, you know, first of all, there's like a little half pipe here. And then you can like kind of ollie over here. There's like a little weird half pipe here. You can grind this kind of rail to the right there. Would have been a secret tape. And again, you got an extra gap here as well. And then it brings you back to the spawn area. All right, moving on from that, we're going to be going to the next one, which is going to be Rio. This one, it's a little tricky if you don't know about it. It's not tricky. I don't know what I'm saying. But you go to the left, and this is actually where the secret deck is going to be located. Right here, you just crash through here, and there's this whole area. You can kind of grind over here. There's this corner rail right here. There's some cool art there. There's this little bowl here. So you have like this whole other section that you may have not known about, and a couple benches as well. And then you can just come back to the main area here. Okay, so Suburbia. We have a couple different areas here. So to unlock the first area, when you're doing your kind of walkthrough, there's an axe over there. You got to bring to a guy over here. And when you do that, you're going to see that it's going to unlock this area right here, which is going to allow you to go kind of into the backyard over here. And there's this whole kind of backyard section. And from this backyard section, if you go up this ramp, you can kind of go in here. And in here is kind of sketchy, man. There's this just girl that's kind of trapped in here with some creepy floating kind of coffin. It's weird. You go out here, grind that, you get the secret tape. Then there's also, you can go up on the roof as well. So if we kind of make our way back to the backyard again here. And again, you can find a lot of this stuff in my 100% playthrough. But we're going to go here, and then we can kind of go up there like that. So you do gotta have to get a little bit of an angle there, right here, and then you're going to kind of hold up, and then you're up on the roof. And now you're way up high, and you can kind of just air out and do whatever you want, trick out, whatever. But yeah, and then there's one last location, and it's all part of the same kind of house area. This one I think unlocks only once you've unlocked the pro goals. So you're gonna kind of go here. You're gonna see this door. It's kind of creepy. It's gonna open and shut. And when it kind of goes a little bit more open, you can kind of go through it. If you do a kickflip inside of it, you will get a trophy as well, and that is Suburbia. All right, well then we got Airport. This one you might know about. It's not super secret, but you can kind of go through here at the very beginning of the spawn. And when you do that, there's kind of like this helicopter. You can grind kind of like what is it? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 or 2? I can't remember. It's on a blank right now. Anyway, so you can grind the chopper. Chopper's going to go flying away. There's a bunch of stuff hitting back here as well. There's escalators here. And you can kind of go up these escalators to get up there as well. So this kind of whole section here is sort of secret-ish, I guess you could say. But it's not that it's secret. It's just I think a lot of people don't know about it. So it's kind of secret. All right, Skater Island. This one's probably one of the cooler ones. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go outside. We're going to go up to this pirate ship over here. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be airing over. This one could be a little bit tricky. You got to kind of aim dead center so you can kind of line up with this post. Aim kind of right here. And we're just going to press forward to kind of go over there and grind this and then ollie off of it into that. Again, you got to get more distance than that though. So you got to have a little bit of speed when you do this, because you're trying to aim for like right over here. And you're going to have the SpongeBob area, as you can see. So there's like a little kind of quarter pipe here. There's some kickers here. But that's pretty much it. Once you go off this kicker, it's over. You're going back to the real area. So Los Angeles, we got a couple here. So there's this whole middle section here. If you grind these 3 red rails, so this one, it counts as a gap. You're gonna grind this one right here. You're gonna grind that one up there that you see. So that's gonna be 3. And then the 4th one is actually down on the street right here. It's gonna cause an earthquake. This car is gonna crash up there. And then you're gonna be able to now get up there. Let me just restart the run. There's a couple different ways you can actually get up there. So I'm gonna go through here. But you can see right here, all of this kind of highway is broken now. And that's kind of the first secret area. And then you can kind of get up here as well onto the rooftop and whatnot, which kind of helps you get the secret tape, which is right here. And then after that, there's one other secret area. So if I go to the right here and I go all the way down here over to this section, this one's a little bit weird. I'm not fully sure why this works. You can see this is all kind of locked. So if I grind this and then this and then this, okay, and then actually make my way back up here, you can see, hold on, actually I think I have to grind from this side first. So I'm going to grind from here to here to here. And what's going to happen, yeah, I go all the way around until I get that doorway hop kind of whatever gap. And you can see that this section right here is opened up, which is nice. And then there's actually a second section that is opened up as well, which is going to be all the way kind of back here. So I'm going to make my way back here. And this is actually also where the Iron Galaxy logo is. Again, you can find all this if you watch my 100% playthrough. But right here, this is also opened up. And now you have this kind of section. I kind of fell down, but this sort of section right there up top, you can go into as well. So a couple little secret areas in this map. All right, then we got Tokyo. Tokyo is an interesting one. You have to do something very specific to unlock it. So we're gonna go up here. We're gonna grind as high as we can. So what we're trying to do is grind that wire way up there. Grind right here, and then kind of ollie on to that little platform up top. So for example, I'll go like this. I'll go like this. I'll ollie up here. There you go. Now I'm up here, and then I'm gonna jump onto this wire. And from this wire, I'm going to jump up here. I'm going to grind this. I'm going to grind up here. And when I grind up here, what's going to happen is this big, giant thing is going to fall. So you can see there's like a little circular kind of area up there that is empty now. There's a thing that's going to fall. And when it falls, it's going to... Hold on, let me restart this. Sorry. I'm trying to commentate and do this at the same time. When it falls, it's going to create this sort of opening here. So you can see right here in the middle, this is all opened up now. And you can kind of come back here, and there's like this whole other section. There's sort of like this kind of vert section up here, and then there's a vert section down here. So yeah, it's just really cool. Massive area back here. So that's Tokyo. All right, so cruise ship. When you're doing your career, you're gonna want to go and do like these different gauntlet things. It's the challenge to do a gauntlet. If you come up here, the first one is gonna be right there. So you basically gotta lip on that, not kiss the rail, but you gotta actually like do like a lip trick on it. So that's gonna be the first one. The second one's here. You got a manual all the way across this. And again, this is for the kind of career mode, if you will. It'll tell you that you're halfway there. Then you can kind of go down here as you see that that little gap kind of pop up. That's how you know that you've done it. And then the last one's gonna be over here, and you got to grind this thing over up here. So when you grind this, you can see you're going to grind all the way around. As a gauntlet, it's going to say, oh, you're halfway there at some point. You keep going, see halfway there, and then when the gap kind of triggers right there, then you've completed that one as well. Once you've done those 3, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to kind of come back up right over here. I didn't mean to lip. I was trying to grind up there to cut some time. But anyways, you're going to come back up here, and you're going to go in there. But this whole thing is not going to be opened up. You're going to actually have to come up from up here. You're going to go down the middle, and then once you get here, this big golden metal is going to bash through here, which is going to unlock this area. It's going to bash through here, and now you have this golden metal right here, which you can kind of like wall plant off of and stuff. But that's not it. You're also going to have this whole section back here that unlocks where you can kind of, you know, grind around. And so again, there's this whole kind of extra sort of back area, if you will, which is right on the edge of the water. It's a nice sight, but don't fall in. And then one other thing for cruise ship, right here, this pool is usually filled up. If you want to drain the pool, there's actually this valve right here. You just grind that valve, and then it's going to drain the pool. And now you can just kind of, you know, have this whole pool section for yourself to kind of, you know, trick in. And you can actually, you know, quote unquote cannonball. You can do an actual cannonball trick from up all the way up there. And it's just kind of a lot of fun. So yeah, there you guys have it. That's a cruise ship. All right, heading over to THPS 4 now. We got Movie Studio. This one is actually really cool. So right from the spawn here, if you turn around, there's these kind of billboards right here. If you go back here, there's this green sewer. You just kind of fall in, and it's sort of like this Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles kind of thing, which makes sense because we have Michelangelo in the game as well. And you can just kind of like hang out back here. There's a bunch of quarter pipes, kind of, you know, back to back to back, kind of like this. A couple gaps and whatever. I don't think they actually count as gaps, weirdly though. But yeah, it's a really cool section. Can you get out the way you came in? I don't know. But you go out here, and then you're back in the kind of movie studio area. So really cool that they have that area in here. Okay, so Alcatraz. There's this sort of kind of prison area that you can unlock, but you have to do a specific goal, a specific challenge. So we're gonna have to, you know, knock over these garbage bins. It'll say 1 out of 5 complete. It's not going to for me in this video because I've already done this, of course, but I'll show you the locations again if you missed my 100% playthrough. So I'll come up here. There's going to be a second garbage bin right there. And then if I come down here, you can see there's going to be a third one right here. I'm going to come down here. Excuse me. There's going to be a fourth one right over here. Thankfully, at least a lot of the garbage bins are kind of like in a general same area, if you will. And then we're going to make our way over here. And then the last one is going to be right here. And once you've done the last one, it's going to give you the cell key, and then you're going to go back up top where we were a second ago here. So, and we're going to go through this door here to go to the very, very top, and then we're going to go over here, and it's going to unlock. It's going to be this cool little cutscene. And now you're in the kind of prison area up top. You can see there's sort of like this whole, or the cells area. I guess the whole place technically is a prison, right? So it's essentially the cells, the block cells, whatever. And yeah, it's a cool little area to kind of hang out in, and you can kind of jump out here and fall to your death, or grind this and salvage your run. All right, so Waterpark. This one also is one of the goals. You're going to kind of come up here to the right from spawn. There's going to be some keys hanging out right here on top of these pipes. You're going to drop right down here. Talk to these guys. Well, you don't actually have to talk to them. You just come here, and this whole arcade section is going to open up, so I can grind through and basically destroy all the arcades. So now this guy over here, well, he's bummed out. He's like, man, what'd you do that for? You destroyed them all. There's a few secret areas. I'm not going to go through all of them, but anytime you see an entrance, go through it. You'll get to like this whole other area like this. They're not necessarily secret, but there's a few of them scattered across the outside of the map. Again, you just kind of look wherever you can find these entrances. I'll show you one more just for an example. So there's one right here, and these all lead you to the top of these sort of like slides. And again, different entrances will lead you to the top of different slides. So look for those entrances, if you will. Experiment with them and have a blast. And yes, you can get up to that blue slide up there as well if you go through the door that's close to it. So kind of secret-ish areas as well. All right, now zoo. If we go over here to the right and then hang another right here, we go through here. This whole place is caged off. It says don't go in here, but you can break through here. And you can kind of grind all of this and do whatever you want here. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do here. There's a couple different ways to get in here. So that's the first way to get there. And if I go over here to the right by here, there's a doorway. If I go through this doorway, it leads me up to the top of this section that I just showed you a second ago. So there's, again, 2 ways to get kind of back here and into this section, and that's sort of the secret area. There's one more area. It's not secret, but if you go back here, you just might not know about it because it's tucked away. If you go all the way back here, you can kind of have this little section over here. Again, it's not secret, but figured I'd mention it just in case you didn't know about it. And also, yes, you can get to the rooftop as well. You can kind of, or sort of, you can kind of get up here. You can do a little bit of stuff up here. And you can get to that roof also. So if I go restart competition real quick. Again, these are not secret areas, but I'll show you guys as a sort of, I guess, bonus, if you will. You can kind of go up this quarter pipe here, and then you can get to the roof, and there's this, you know, quarter pipe up there. You can grind across the rooftops. So I can go like this and, you know, grind across those wires and get to this roof. And yeah, so a couple little areas to get to in the zoo also. All right, so what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If I missed any, please do let me know. I'm pretty sure that's all of it. I was as thorough as I possibly could be to my knowledge, but again, I'm a human, I'm fallible, so if I missed something, let me know in the comments, let us all know. But let me know which one is your favorite. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, game on. I'll see you guys later.